यशोदनन्दन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यमुनातीरावनचारी
यमुनातीरा
यमुनातीरावनचारी
यमुनातीरा
जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
So, the class today will be based on the because we have glorification. So it's Lord's glorification. We'll start with the pranam mantra of Supreme Lord Sri Ramchandra, and I would request everyone to repeat the pranam mantra. Maybe you will not be able to see, but it's okay. It's easy shloka. Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, which glorifies Supreme Lord Hari, and we are paying our obeisances to Lord Sri Ramchandra through this shloka. नमो ब्राह्मण्य देवाय रामाय कुण्ठमेधसे उत्तम श्लोक दुर्याय न्यास्त दण्डार्पिताङ्ग्रये नमो ब्राह्मण्य देवाय रामाय कुण्ठमेधसे
रामाय कुण्ठमेधसे
उत्तमश्लोकदुर्याय
उत्तमश्लोकदुर्याय
न्यास्ता दण्डार्पिताङ्ग्रये
न्यासादण्डाकृताङ्ग्रये.
Translation is, O Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead who have accepted the Brahmanas as your worshipable deity. Your knowledge and memory are never disturbed by anxiety. You are the chief of all famous persons within this world, and your lotus feet are worshipped by sages who are beyond the jurisdiction of punishment. O Lord Ramachandra, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto you. So Lord Ramachandra is the supreme personality of Godhead himself, and he appeared in this material world as given in Bhagavad Gita. His cause of his appearance was to sustain dharma in this material world, and that was the sole reason for his appearance. So as told in Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever there is a decline in religious activities, righteousness in this material world, Lord will appear. There is no reason, for as such there is no reason. Whenever he wants to whomever he wants to take birth in which couple's womb and which time he wants, it all depends on him. But this Lord Ramachandra was such a epitome of moral principles that he led a path of human birth. He came into this material world and he took the human form, and he trained the whole purpose of this human birth was to train all the material entities in this world to walk on the path of morality, virtuousness and good behavior. And so if you in your each walk of your life, if you want to be a perfect ideal husband, ideal son, ideal teacher, ideal master, ideal father, you just need to follow the path of Lord Sri Ramachandra. So Lord Sri Ramachandra was born in Ikshvaku dynasty, and it is as you know, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord mentions that from Manu, it is the knowledge was transferred to Ikshvaku, and this was the reign, that is Chandra Vamsha. Ramachandra was born in Surya Vamsha, and his father was Dasharatha, very prominent king in Raghu Vamsha. One of the ancestor was Raghu, so the Vamsha is also known as Raghu Vamsha, and his father was Dasharatha, a very prominent king. So Ramachandra was born, and he chose King Dasharatha as well as his wife Kausalya Mata as his parents. And for his appearance, there was reason. As you know, there was a chaos created by, in this world, there was lot of atrocities which the Mother Earth could not bear, and she had to, as always, run to all the doorsteps, all the devatas. Then at last she got the justice only when she reached to the footsteps of Lord Narayana, and he had promised that he will appear in Treta Yuga and he will help her out in vanquishing Ravana and all his counterparts who were creating this nuisance. And so Lord Ramachandra is, why Lord Ramachandra? He is born in the Surya Vamsha, but he is named Ramachandra. Can anyone say? Just a wild guess. He is from Surya Vamsha, but his name is born, yeah.
Cool like Chandra.
Yes, that's the reason. So we are, in our hearts, we have lot of anxieties, like samsara davanala, the fire is burning in our heart. This living entity is always filled with anxiousness, fear and everything. But when you chant Lord Ramachandra's name, it is like the effect of 1,000 Koti Chandra Sushobhita, they say. The effect of, the moonshine effect of Lord Ramachandra's holy name, when it enters into your heart, it can provide that cooling effect by extinguishing these fire of anarthas in your heart. So that's why the beautiful name Ramachandra, the right and apt name for him, as mentioned. So now we will just discuss, because it is appearance of Sri Lord Ramachandra, we will discuss few not in deep we can go. The appearance, how he appeared, and what was the reason for his, means how he appeared in this world. So yeah, so this Katha of Ramachandra, the Ramayana, the epic Ramayana, was written by Valmiki, as all you know. So you all of you know this Valmiki was a thief, and he was liberated from that birth of a thief, and he only because of chanting Lord Rama's name. It was, and who gave him these blessings of chanting Lord Rama's name? It was none other than Narada Muni. Narada Muni plays here the beginning of this. My discourse only will be saying that it's how Guru plays an important role in appearance of Lord and Guru. The appearance of scriptures, these great scriptures which we see, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam, and the Srimad Ramayanam and all, it was all came out with the point of distress in someone's heart. And to vanquish that distress and to clear the doubts, there had to be one Guru. And it is Narada Muni you can find in everywhere. It is like air. It is told he is like air. He is present like air. Everywhere this soul, this devotee of Supreme Lord, he reaches and he tries to preach the message of Godhead and deliver all these souls. And what happens when he reaches and preaches this message? He is able to create books, the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. And how did Srimad Bhagavatam come when Vyasadeva was in distress? He was not satisfied. After writing Upanishads and Puranas, he was not satisfied. He approached Narada Muni and he said, what is the reason I am not satisfied? Narada Muni said, yes, because you are not glorified Lord very well. So that is why you are not happy. So then he came up with the scripture of Srimad Bhagavatam, where only glories of Supreme Lord from the beginning, in the middle, till the end, it's only glorification of Supreme Lord and his devotees. Here also you can see when Valmiki approached our Narada Muni, he was little distressed because he had received a very important person into his ashrama, none other than Sita Devi. He knew he was a contemporary of Sri Ramachandra. No, Sri Ramachandra was present when Valmiki was there. And that's why it is this Ramayanam as well as Mahabharatam, it is known as Itihasa. Itihasa means it's not like Purana. Itihasas are scriptures which are written when the incidents are happening, when the characters are present. That time when it is written, it is known as, means ongoing. It is the incident is happening, the characters are present. That time if something is written, it is called Itihasa. But whereas Purana is not like that. Purana might be the incidents have happened in the past. It can happen in the future. So this is stories. Stories might not be, the characters might not be present. So you can see Vyasadeva also, when he was writing Mahabharata, Lord Hari was present. And you can see here also Sri Ramachandra was present. But he was present and he was a very great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. But when he saw that Sita Devi is back home, she is feeling sad, there was a distress in his mind. How can Lord Ramachandra do this? So he knew his Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything. He was a knowledgeable, intellectual sage. But then to clear his doubts in his heart, he went to Narada Muni. And the first question he asked to Narada Muni is, that is the shloka. You will see the shloka. So he goes to Narada Muni. The beginning of Ramayanam, the journey of Lord Ramachandra, how it started off is by this shloka. He approaches Narada Muni, he says, Tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidamvaram naradam paripracha valmiki munipungavam. He is asking to Narada Muni, hey great tapasvi vagvidam, please explain to me who is present, a great soul. The next question he is asking, please clear my doubt. What is the question he asked? कोनोऽस्मिन् साम्प्रतं लोके गुणवान् कश्च वीर्यवान् धर्मज्ञश्च कृतज्ञश्च सत्यवाक्यो दृढव्रतः. He's asking Narada Muni, Sage Narada Muni, please explain to me, is there any person in this material world who is having, he should be present in the material world now, presently. Don't say that past he was present. No, I want a person who is present now, who is having all these characters. What is this? He should be a Gunavan, he should be a Viryavan, he should be a Dharmajna, Kritagnya, all these Satyavakya, Priyavrata, all these characters, who is having? Can I get water? So all these characters, if a person is having, let me know. He knows Sri Ramachandra is there. But then he asked that, is anyone present? So Narada Muni, he gets an opportunity to glorify Supreme Lord. He relishes it. He took a break. He didn't answer it. It is like you are given sweet food before you. You see the food. You see it. You enjoy it. You just don't gulp it, isn't it? You see the beauty. You then take little bite. Then you relish it. Same way, given an opportunity, Narada Muni will take this whole, he relished. He's asking me about Supreme Lord, Ramachandra. I will explain now. Then he started explaining, and it's a list of shloka which I have not mentioned. He says that none other than Ramachandra has all these great qualities. He is one and only Lord Ramachandra, and he is present. And that time, he had to some extent, Valmiki had to satisfy, because it is his guru, isn't it? So his guru is telling, he has to get satisfied. So he agreed to it. And then you see that Narada Muni goes to Tamasa river, where Narada Muni goes to Tamasa river and he's taking bath with Mandar Muni. He sees two Krauncha birds, and one Krauncha bird, I'm going quickly, one Krauncha bird is quickly killed, the male Krauncha bird is killed by a hunter. With that pain, he curses the hunter quickly. He's a sage, he should have tolerance, no? But he could not tolerate, because he thought that such a good pair, how could he kill that? They were having a good time, he could have not done that. So he cursed. That curse was known as, from the heart of his shoka came out. That shoka means pain. After that pain only this shloka word came out. So the verses what he said was a curse as such. But then he's clarified. What was the curse he gave? Ma nishada pratishtam tvam gama agama shashwati sama yat krauncha mitunadekam avadi kama mohitam. O violent hunter, by which reason you have killed one bird of the couple when it was infatuated by passion, for that reason you will never get a state of rest for everlasting years to come. He cursed that in the future years of future birth, however your existence is, you will never have peace. A very hard curse on a hunter, isn't it? So at the moment when he gave the curse, he was angry. But that as soon as he gave the curse, he became little sad. He said, I should not have done. My guru gave me this knowledge of whole Ramayana. After Narada Muni explained to him that Ramachandra was the person who has all these great characters, he gave the Sankshipta Ramayana also to him. The whole story of Ramayana, how Rama took birth, everything. He could see, like the past, present, future. And he gave this gift that you can also see everything. Like an amla, if this gooseberry is kept in your hand, amalaki is kept in your hand, you can see every nicely, like that. You will also have the vision to see the past, present and future of Lord Sri Ramachandra's life. So this kind of benediction is given. What a work I did now. I cursed. I was really distressed. But then at the same moment, Lord Brahma came and clarified that your curse is not a curse. It is none. The word I'm just telling to you that it was, he told that is not a curse. Manishada means, Manishada is abode of Lakshmi, and Pratishtatma means, Nishada is one who is abode, and Pratishtatma Mamaga means may your glory be forever. Yet Krauncha Mitunadekam Avadim Kama Mohitam, because of you have been responsible for bringing an end to Ravana, one of the demoniac couple who was attached to in a sensuous manner to Sita. This Sanskrit language has a beauty that it can be understood in different way. So Brahma gave him he pacified Narada Muni. Don't worry, it was not a curse. You have said a very beautiful starting. You have started your epic with a great verse. That is, you have said that Ravana will be killed, who has had a lustrous eye on Mother Sita, and who is the abode of Sri Ramachandra. Like that. Mahanishada means Mahalakshmi, the abode of. So, like that. So, he was little relieved. He started writing the epic Ramayana. So, this is what is the journey of Rama and his vision. He could see everything. And he wrote the complete Ramayana. He then thought that this Ramayana has to be preached to the whole human race. That is what is the purpose. Now, when you learn something, the sages have the tendency, they have the great devotees, they don't keep it into a heart, it overflows. So he just trained Mother Sita's two kids, that is Lava and Kusha, the whole story of Ramayana, and they went out, they were asked to go out and preach it in Ayodhya. He had a plan that these two kids have to meet Lord Sri Ramachandra and they have to come together. So they both went into Ayodhya, and everyone in Ayodhya were infatuated. They were captivated by the story of Ramayana. And like that, the story they are telling, they reached the palace of Ramachandra. Ramachandra also invited. Some two kids are nicely reciting my story. So he invited them. He invited and they sat, and Lord Ramachandra heard his own story. Think, someone will hear his own glory? It is embarrassing, isn't it? If someone is sitting before you, he is telling so much glorious thing. For 1 minute, 2 minutes, you can hear. Continuously, for 3 days, these kids are walking around in Ayodhya. It is not... So, but what do you think? Is this because Ramachandra wants to hear more and more his glory? No, it is not like that. It is said that this Ramayana means Sitaya Charitam Mahat also, because it has the glorification of Mother Sita also. He wanted to hear about whatever the story was being recited, it had the glorification of Mother Sita. So he was really happy to hear more about her. So while he was hearing, he is in the throne here, the kids are down, they are reciting. He stepped down the throne, he went on crawling, it seems, so that when the devotees are hearing, they should not be disturbed. See the humility of a king. Can you have such a king who can understand, who is so humble? He went crawling and he sat among the devotees there, or the citizens there, and he was hearing to Srimad Ramayana. This is the glory of Srimad Lord. The Lord's name is only so beautiful. So his pastimes, whenever we are sitting here, it should be understood, Srila Prabhupada tells, that his pastimes, his Rupa, Guna, Nama, Leela, everything are not different from the absolute Supreme Lord itself. They are not different. They are the same. When I am saying Sri Ramachandra's story, or when you hear about Sri Ramachandra, means Lord Sri Ramachandra himself is there. So there is no difference. His Nama, his name, his body, his Rupa, Guna, everything is he himself. We might be different. You call me my name, write in a paper, Sri Leela, and I am sitting here. I am not the same. The paper's name and myself are not the same. We are two individuals, isn't it? So it's not the same for Supreme Lord Hari. So, and Lord Sri Ramachandra. So now they say that if you hear to Lord Sri Ramachandra's story, Dharmartha Kama Moksha is bestowed to you. But that is not we want as a devotee. And Janamejaya, when he heard this story, because Janamejaya, he is Parikshit Maharaj's son. He became very angry because his son was killed by Sarpa. So he started, wherever he finds snakes, he used to burn them alive. And he was in a very angry mood. But this anger of some sages have to come forward to calm him down, isn't it? So a sage came, I don't remember his name. He came and he was reciting. He thought that I can't tell big philosophy to this person. I can say something very sweet. So he started to recite Mahabharatam and Ramayana. At the end of Ramayana and Mahabharatam, the Rishi asked him, what did you learn? He said that from both Ramayana and Mahabharatam, I learned only 4 lessons. That is, I am attracted to the Rupa, Guna, Nama, Leela of Supreme Lord. and I'm detached from all these dharmartha kama moksha. I'm not interested in anything related to this material world. And so I said Mahabharatam, I understand. Ramayanam also is the same. He said, yes, these are the 4 things I relished, I learned from these scriptures. So these scriptures might be, they are Smriti, they are not Shruti. This is from Guru, that Rupa Goswami says, like Shruti, like the Upanishads, these Puranas, these Itihasas are also equally important. We have to understand, for all those souls who are living, conditioned souls like us, we need to know more about this, learn and read more about the Itihasas also. Okay. So we will see how Lord appeared in this material world and the process. If Lord has to appear into someone's family, he has to come into the movements. It is not easy. He cannot just come into your family. You will pray and he will come. No. You have to do lot of circus for it. It is not easy. So for that, Lord, it is said that Dasharat Maharaj, his Ayodhya was a resplendent place in whole of the earth. You can see it's Matya Loka for now. It was full, it was so happy place in the world that you can never see in Ayodhya. It is a place where it is from the Koshala kingdom. It is Ikshvaku only, means Manu himself had designed this Ayodhya. Very, very rich, resplendent, prosperous, everywhere happiness. People were, how the citizens were? Not lustful, they were very wise. And ladies and gentlemen in the city were virtuous in mind, self-controlled, all these list. They incomplete, and they're very intelligent also, these people. So nothing was missing there. But the king of Ayodhya was missing something. He was having some pain in his heart. He was happy. His reign was not gone. But he was having a desire which was not fulfilled. And that he didn't have a son. That was his major cause of his pain in his heart. So he had 350 wives. 350 plus 3. 350 were his wives. He used to, whenever Parashurama used to come, Parashurama, he will kill all the Kshatriyas. He gets the news that Parashurama is coming. Whenever your bridegroom he sees, bride and groom are getting married, he won't go kill the Kshatriya. That was his promise. So this Dasharat Maharaj, he knew whenever he hears somewhere Parashurama is on the way, he will ask for a lady, he will marry. Like that he had made the count very well. It was 350, but in the 350 plus 3 were very important. There is Dharma Patni Kaushalya and the other 2, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. So Sumitra is the second main wife of his, but we think Kaikeyi is the second one. Sumitra is the second one. So he had this sadness in his mind. So he asked his ministers that how can I get rid of, because I am not finding a reason why I am not having a son. I am healthy, everything is good. What's the reason? Then he said, then if the reason is unknown, that means I have done some sin in my past. That's why I am not having kids. So they decided to do Ashwamedha Yajna. And this Ashwamedha Yajna is for 1 year. It is not an easy thing. You have to let loose the horse. The horse has to go to all the kingdoms, just to travel, come back after 1 year to the same king without any problem. If the horse is tied by some king, then again you have to fight and it will extend, the time will extend. So he did Ashwamedha Yajna for 1 year. The horse came back. It is thought that his sins were washed away. He did 3 days of small yajnas. Then after the Ashwamedha Yajna, he gave, it is told that he gave 10 lakh cows, gold, silver, all donations, gold bangles, so that his sins are removed. Then he started with this Putra Kameshti Yajna. See, it is, by the time it is Putra Kameshti Yajna, Sumantra told that, yes, you are already blessed. Sanat Kumaras has told that you will get 4 kids. Don't worry, continue with the Putra Kameshti Yajna. They did the Putra Kameshti Yajna and they had 4 kids. So, yeah, Lord arrives now. So, you should be knowing many information about Lord now. He arrives. It is not easy. After the Yajna, Putra Kameshti Yajna comes, the Prajapati comes and he gives this paisam, the bowl with, it is golden. It is said in Valmiki Ramayana, it is a golden bowl with silver to maintain the temperature of the paisam. Then the paisam was shared and 50% of the payasam was taken by Kausalya. Then Kausalya was satisfied. She said, rest you can give it to someone. So it was then taken, then the 25% was taken by Sumitra. Then Keikeyi, and then 12.5% was left out. Then because Dasharatha was very close to Sumitra, because Sumitra is a very, you don't hear about her more, but she is a chaste and intellectual lady. He loved, Dasharatha loved her very much. The extra 12.5 also was given to our Sumitra. So like that she had twins. But you think Sumitra, she got the opportunity second time. She could have had, just after Dasharatha, Rama was born, Lakshmana and Shatrughna could have born. But she waited that let everyone have, at the end I will have. What was the purpose? She could have gulped that, no. First Kausalya took, she gulped it. She could have also gulped it. No, she kept it in her hand. Let Kaikeyi also think that. Why do you think she did that?
Compassionate. Compassionate.
Why compassionate? What is there in compassionate? You can have, they can, everyone, the share is given. So the thing is, because I don't have time. So the thing is, the last, she said, if I drink the payasam now, when everyone drinks, my kids will be born last, and they will serve all these two brothers. If they are born early, how can they serve? So my kids will always be in a servants mode only. They will be able to serve their elder brothers. So she took the payasam at the end, and she ate the payasam. Kids are ready. It's not 12 months it took Sri Ramachandra. It is not 9 months. After 12 months, Lord Sri Ramachandra was born. And it is told that after 8 months, Lord Hari was born. Lord Balram was born after 11th month, like that. You look at time. It is not easy. And you see the span. After the Putrakameshti Yajna, after 12 months, Lord appeared in their home. And you know which Tithi he was born? You should be knowing now. Because it's appearance day. We are celebrating. We should know. Yes. He is born in Navami Tithi. That is, we have, and you know which nakshatra Lord says? Anyone knows? It is Punarvasu nakshatra. And which month of the year he is born? Very, very pleasant, Madhumasa. Chaitra Masa. Yeah. And this is it. I don't want to give you more. So, and in Dashami Tithi, our Bharata was born. He was in Pushya Nakshatra. And then next, in the same Dashami Tithi only, our Shatrughna and Lakshmana were born. Both were into Ashlesha Nakshatra. That is Snake's Nakshatra. Ashlesha is. So like this, when Lord was born, the day, see, today only we are, yesterday only it started. The happiness and everything started in our home yesterday only. So today Lord appeared. And same way in Ayodhya Vasis also, this happiness and this joy was spread, because Lord, you can see the nature itself was glowing with happiness. The birds were chirping, the rivers were flowing nectarian water, it seems, sweet water. Can you imagine? That is the effect when Lord Rama or Lord Hari comes to in this world. So this was happening, and as I told, Lord Ramachandra was born to Kaushalya, and he was lotus-eyed, and he had lengthy arms, and his voice was very sweet, and he was very sweet and beautiful. Everyone loved, and he was having the you know the darba grass. The light green color of darba grass was his body color, and the eyes were like lotus, very beautiful. So he attracted, and you should see the lagna in which he was born, the astrological chart. Now also in North India it is said that the chart of he's being placed in homes, because the lagna, the Surya, in the Muhurtam also it is Abhijit Muhurta. Means Lord Hari, that is Krishna, also was born in Abhijit Muhurta. And which time do you think Lord Ramachandra was born? Surya Vamsha? When the sun is really very strong. That is in the mid-afternoon, Lord Ramachandra was born. And Lord Hari when he was born? Lord Krishna? Midnight. Yeah, midnight. So it's like that, no? So he was, see the similarities in there, this one. So he is in the afternoon, he was in the midnight only. It's 12, both. So like that, they were in both their Jatakam, it was Abhijit Muhurta, means anyone who is born in that Muhurta, they will become an emperor. That is the, I just thought these things, I didn't know, so I will share this to you. So Rama's name, why after they were born in the 11th day, the birth, after this naming ceremony happened. When naming ceremony happened, and Ram was named as defined, he was named by Vasishta as Rama, means Ramante Sarvajana Gunai Asmin Iti Rama. He is a person in whom all the people take delight for his virtuousness. Lot of bliss and happiness this personality gives. The moment he stands before you, he spreads the happiness and joy in you. And it is not that his name was new. His name was told in Padma Puranam earlier itself. It is not a new name, I am telling. Then Bharata is Bharata, Rajya Bharanat, Vivruti iti Bharata. He took the bharam. It was in the future, but Vasishta knew. He took the bharam of the kingdom which Lord Sri Ramachandra had to rule. So that is Bharata. Then Lakshmana, Lakshmi Sampanna. He had a great wealth with him. What? Money? Yeah. Sorry, the timer is saying I'm too late now. So it is his selfless dedication. That is the wealth he had towards his elder brother. His servitude, attitude towards his elder brother was the wealth which he had. That's why you can see Lord Lakshmana and Ramachandra, they were never separate. From the birth till the end, they both are there. Bharata didn't have that opportunity. So then it is Shatrughna, as you told. Shatrun Hanti iti Shatrughna. He didn't kill many people. You know, he was not involved in much war. Some Lavanasura he killed, that's it. But why this name is given Shatru Hantaram? Because his name was given such that he had the ability to kill the wise, all the anarthas in his heart. The main thing is envy. He had the ability. So that is why he is named like that. So yeah. Now we will enter into the 16 glorious qualities of Sri Ramachandra. I had a lot to say, but I am restricting it. Among the 16 glorious qualities of Supreme Lord, 6 major qualities are there, which we will discuss today. So the first one is Gunavan. All the characters I will be telling, but you can. Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmajna, Kritagnya, and Satyavakya, that is truthful, Dridhavrata, determined, Charitrena cha yukta, good conduct, Sarvabhuteshu hita, well-wisher to all the people, Vidwan, he was a scholar, Samartha, very able, adept person, Priyadarshana, very beautiful looking person, Atmavan, he was a self-capable person, and Jitakrodha, he was a conqueror of anger. In the sense, he never used to get angry so often like us, you know. And Dyutiman, he was very brilliant. Anasuya, no jealousy. And Vibhyati means Devas feared him. Not out of, means he was not creating a terror as such, out of respect. The Devatas respected him. So quickly we will go to the first character, that is Gunavan. Might be only 3 characters we will do. So Gunavan character. Why Gunavan? Gunavan means the quality, no? Good quality. Why that Gunavan? If one child is asked to bring from the shop, a list of things are asked to the kid to bring. This is your ingredients to bring. He has 1, 2, 3, all the ingredients. At the end, one name is written ingredient again. He will think, what is this? Already ingredients are told. This ingredient, why again? So qualities, good qualities only, all these are. And why again quality? Gunavan means quality, good quality only. So here, good quality means Saushilya Guna and Saulabhya Guna. A very important character which we need to follow from Lord Sri Ramachandra is, although this is a great person, Lord Sri Ramachandra is a great person. Knowing is great means being a great person, he was able to mingle with any other people without discretion. There is no discretion on the basis of wealth, education or good looks. He mingled with everyone easily. That is the Saushilya Guna. A person like Modi, can he come and sit with you, and Trump can he come? He's a great position, is it? Do you think practically it is possible? He will come and talk to you, shake hands with you, sit with you, have food. No. Our Guru Maharaj used to do that. He used to come, he used to sit, have food, it seems. So, like that, I remembered of him. So, like that, Saushilya Guna, only few great people have that character. Everyone cannot have. If we wish to also, sometimes the position is high, we might think, how will I go now? People, what they will think. Though I like to go, but the position itself will create some barrier to go. But Lord Ramachandra never had that this position will create. He was easily mingling with everyone. Saulabhya. That he, and Saushilya also means he extended his help to anyone who approaches him. So the second one, Saulabhya. The Gunavan character, two aspects. Saushilya as well as Saulabhya. Saulabhya means he is easily, you can approach him. He can come mingle with you, but you should be having the ability to go and approach and ask him help, isn't it? You could do that. That is a very approachable person, easily approachable out of his compassion. So, through some pastimes, quickly I will tell you. Can you say that how easily? There is no discretion of caste, there is no discretion whether it is an animal or whether no discretion is a human or a bird. To anyone and everyone, he will mingle happily. Sri Ramachandra. So this Gunavan character, you can see in Ramachandra when he met Guha. Guha was a tribal king. And Guha, being a tribal king, a great king like Ramachandra, he cannot come and mingle with the tribal caste people, isn't it? But Lord Ramachandra's best friend was Guha. When he met Guha during the exile period, Guha just hugged him. And in turn, what did Ramachandra do? He also hugged him. And Guha was so happy that he gave a list of, he was happy to serve him with all the, this one. And he said that now don't go back to Ayodhya. 14 periods of exile, you are anyway, you're supposed to be in the forest, no? Don't go here and there. Just become the king of this forest itself. Your father gave me this portion to, my father is asked to take care. You take the authority to take care of this forest. But Ramachandra said, no, I have promised my father that I have to spend 15 years as a how? It's not having a joyful life, having a king's life. I have to have a very strict, austere life. So no, sorry, I will not do that. So Guha, he served him everything, but he did not have anything as such, food as such. And he's that thing, you can see Guha with how Guha, he was very good. And his further example of Saushilya and Saulabhya is, you know, scavenger bird, like scavenger bird, you know, it is low, it eats all meat. Can someone consider him as your father or relative, your pet? He did final rites for one scavenger bird named Jatayu. So Jatayu, he fought for Mother Sita to be rescued from Ravana. He was mercilessly injured, he fell down, and Rama came because Jatayu was like his father. Jatayu was very old vulture. He was Dashratha's friend. And as soon as Lord Ramachandra saw him, he was so sad. He said, I know I am in pain that Sita Devi has left, but I am more in pain seeing you doing this endeavor in this old age, ripe age. You fought with that Ravana who is strong, and to rescue Sita. I appreciate your sincerity and devotion towards me. And he gave the Sarupya Mukti to our Jatayu. And it is said that Jatayu was also pleased. And that was a character, you can see. Will you do final rites for your pet animals? I think pet animals they will do. Dogs and all they will do, I think. For anyone dying in the road, lying, will you do final rites? No. He did. Lord Sri Ramachandra did it. That is his quality. So one more thing he did is Saushilya Guna he showed. Sheela Guna. You see how beautiful this Lord Ramachandra is. A person is waiting, an old lady, many years. Matanga Rishi she is also a tribal lady only, not a great person, intellectual person. A tribal lady, poor lady, staying in Matanga Rishi's ashram. Matanga Rishi left and he told, wait, Sri Ramachandra will come, until then you don't come with me. She used to carry this paper plate with the flowers and fruits every day, run to the door. Oh, he will come today. Like this, many years she waited. And one day when she came, out of happiness, what did she do? She did a great job? No, for the material people like us, it's not gift. She ate, she collected some berries, she ate it, tasted it, and she gave it to the Uchishta, she gave it to Lord Sri Ramachandra. And what did Lord Ramachandra say? He said, no, I can't have it. Did he say like that? No, he had happily. Why? Because it is her intention was seen by Lord Ramachandra. And one more, you can just think that Guha also offered food and all to him, but he didn't have Guha's food. But he had Shabari's food. Why is it so? Do you think? He is also devoted. Guha is a devotee only. Yeah, how do you think? What do you think? Guha was, this is small, this one, what I felt. Shabari was connected to a Guru. Guru's mercy is compulsory required for a jiva to get personal association with Lord. The close association, to feed Lord. It means Guha also was close only. But to feed the love you show, express your love, to feed him, be very close to him. That kind of closeness you get only when you get the mercy of Guru. So she had the mercy of a Guru, which Guha didn't have. So this is the beautiful thing which I thought it is. It's good. So further examples are there. There is no difference Sri Ramachandra saw in any animals. He had friends in the Vanara army also, in the bear family also. Bear, you know, no? Jamavanta. Huh? And with vulture also, with squirrel also, with monkey also, and his Vanaras. He fought a big war against Ravana. He could have gone back to Ayodhya, asked help of some great warriors, no, to fight. No, he said that I am okay. Vanaras are enough for me to fight fight for me. Why? That is also his mercy. See the mercy Lord Sri Ramachandra shows. So he fought the war using all these Vanaras only. And Sugriva also, he showed his mercy. As soon as he saw Sugriva, he is asking help to Sugriva. You think Supreme Lord needs his help? He went and asked, can you help me? My wife I have lost. Can you help me? This is the greatness of a great personalities. Every day Guru Maharaj in his lectures, he can see, please help me. Please help me. I need your help. Do these great souls require our menial help? No, they don't require. But they shower their mercy on. If they don't give us opportunity, how will we grow in our devotion? Isn't it? We need to have the mercy of Guru. And that mercy of Guru is only the opportunity through which we can serve them. So they know if this person I give an opportunity and he serves, he will grow up in devotion. So like that, he gave an opportunity. He said, please help me. And Sugriva also. And same way Vibhishana. Rakshasa he is. He's not a Brahmana. He received Vibhishana also into his life. And Vibhishana was also, when Vibhishana came and surrendered, he said that, I don't care that you belong to any Ravana's brother. I don't mind. I will give you my help. Means you can come and take my help. Means you can be in my army. The whole world, the whole Vanara army said that he is a traitor, don't believe him. He is from Ravana's party, don't believe. He said no. He asked Hanuman. That's a leadership quality you can see. He asked everyone's opinion that should I take this Vibhishana, this Rakshasa into our team? They said no. But one person said yes. Who was it? Hanuman. He said no. Hanuman said no. I have seen him. This Shastra of face reading, Hanuman knew well. And he has gone to Ravana's this one. There he saw that this person is a Dharmagya. Why? Because when I was supposed to be killed by Ravana, he said that any ambassador coming, a foreign envoy coming is not supposed to be killed. It is against Dharma. This is the only person who rescued me that day. He was able to voice against his brother. So he can be believed. So like that, Vibhishana was also given he was also taken into his abode, you can say his team by Sri Ramachandra. So now his Hanuman is telling that that one beautiful word that I will not. We will go to the next character, that is Viryavan. Lord Sri Ramachandra was Viryavan. Why Viryavan? Viryavan has three aspects in it. That is, one is Shaurya, one is Parakrama, and Virya. Virya itself. Virya means, the first aspect of Viryavan is he has the confidence that he will win the. He can win over so much. This army is coming forward. He will think, no, I can easily win. The second aspect is Shaurya. He is having that confidence that he will win. You might go daredevil, you will have the dareness that, yeah, courage is there. I will go do this act. But you should have the confidence with you, no? That confidence sometimes, not the confidence that he was sure that I will win these people. That is the second, that is Shaurya. Courage that he will win the army. Parakrama is nothing but every person to some extent who is fighting will feel that I have the ability to kill that person. But he will have a small amount of fear in his heart. That is, Lord Sri Ramachandra didn't have that. That is Parakrama. So he had all these three aspects. And through one pastime you will know that how Sri Ramachandra, he killed all these 14,000 Karadushana, armies of Karadushana sent by Ravana without any support. One arrow, it is saying the rain of arrows were going from one person. And 14,000 armies of Karadushana was killed, means it's not easy. They weren't all killed. And because Sita Maya had asked that, why are you holding this, your bow and arrow to show, to whom are you want to show all these things? I'm seeing that you have this arrow but you are not using it. He felt very bad for that. That's why when Karadushana came, Lakshmana said, why brother you are going? I will only kill. You go, you and Sita Maya sit one place. He said, no, this is my, she has hurt me, now I have to do it. You and Sita go sit in the cave, just to watch what I am doing. Then he just killed everyone. There was little bruise. Then he came and asked to Sita. She came running. He asked, now do you feel I am carrying this bow and arrow means something to male like me. So like that. She was, that is the one pastime, sweet pastime which happened. So we cannot imitate that. So even you can see the last character which I would like to conclude is Dharmajna. Follow the path of righteousness. Take the decisions of dharma properly. That is what is Dharmajna we mean. But another aspect is being the Karunyavan. He had lot of mercy even to his enemies. When Tataka came to kill these 12-year-old small boys, when Vishwamitra took these 12-year-old, I think Ramachandra and Lakshmana, that time Lord Ramachandra said, how can I kill her? She is a lady. Though she is a demon, yet she is so white, how can I kill her? He said, don't think of those rules, Dharma, now. It is my order, because they are creating lot of havocs to the Brahmanas. Brahmanas are being killed. No ritualistic activities are proceeding. So she is against this Dharma. She is a very much great menace to us. Please kill. He did not, his Dharma is what? That is followed the instructions of his Guru without saying what people will think. I will kill a lady. That sin will come to me. No. Just his Guru said and he did. That is a Dharmajna. And one more thing. When Tataka came, he did this. When Shurpanaka came, what did he do? He said that I am married. Yeah, he didn't say you go away. He said I am married. So presently I cannot marry you. There is a person who is unmarried. You can go to him. And she goes to Lakshmana. And Lakshmana says that, see, I am already a servant of this person. And if you marry me, you will be the servant's wife. What's the great deal? So, you please go away. She said, what you people are thinking of me? I am Ravana's sister. And this Janasthana is full mine. And you people are ignoring me, such a beautiful lady. And it is said in Valmiki Ramayana, beautifully she has cursed Sita Maya. That this slender, wasted, ugly lady is attracting you. She has caught hold of you both. I will kill her now. And she goes and pounds on top of Sita, about to pounce. That time, Sri Ramachandra, he said that she is crossing the boundaries. Please, brother, cut off her nose. Cut off her nose and hands. So he does that. She could have killed her, no? But he used mercy. He said that level of killing is not required, violence is not required. We will just leave her with that because there is no Guru's instruction also there. So he said we will leave her. So that is the Karunyavan character of Lord Sri Ramachandra. You can see again. He is enemy also. These are enemies. Even to Ravana, he was very. They say, why so powerful man? He could have killed with one arrow. Why 10 arrows? One head is falling, the other head is falling. Why so much time? He could kill him, no? That you can see the another aspect is he was Viryavan, he was Gunavan. All these characters are there. Viryavan means he wants to fight with Ravana. That Virya is there. But he was Gunavan and Dharmagnya also. He wanted to give opportunity to Sri Ramachandra. One head fell. He thought, okay, this person will get okay now at least. Another head fell. No. Third, fourth. This person is not rectifying himself. At last he had to kill him. So he gives opportunities to his. He doesn't hold any grudge towards his enemies also. And at that great quality of his, you can see when Vibhishana, he requested Vibhishana, please conduct the final rites to your brother. I don't hold any grudge towards that soul. So that is a great character. So we are ending here with one only last pastime of Sri Ramachandra, his Dharmagnya character. He is one day when Sita Maya was sitting in the forest, having Sri Ramachandra on her lap, there is a crow. Indra's son comes as a crow and she pricks the chest. He pricks the chest of Sita Maya, and he pricks and he takes a bit of flesh from her chest also, and he goes back onto the tree, and Sita Maya was terribly in pain, but her husband is lying on her lap, so she just tolerated the pain. She didn't want to move. So that crow was continuously doing this. It was pricking her, going back, enjoying this. That time, at a point of time, it is said that from her chest, blood was coming, and Lord Sri Ramachandra's head was drenched with blood. And that time he woke up. He did not speak anything. He did not speak to Sita Maya. He just saw the crow sitting with the flesh and the blood. He got the idea what has happened. He took a darba grass, and that darba grass which he took was the Brahmastra. He left the Brahmastra, and this crow, it went to all the three worlds. It is not a common crow. It is Indra's son. He was cursed for some reason, I hope. He went to all the three worlds. No one helped. When anyone goes against the pleasure potency of Supreme Lord, will anyone help that kind of person? No. He came back and he surrendered onto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Ramachandra. And that time, Lord Sri Ramachandra, he was having connection with Indra because ancestors, they had a connection, they had some help done. So what he said, because it was Sita Devi who was hurt, he was very angry. But Sita Devi, it is said that she pushed her feet. So merciful she is. She is pained. But that is the mercy of Srimati Radharani and Sita Maya. As Srimati Radharani and Sita Devi, it is, if you want the complete, benediction from the Supreme Lord, you need to just fall onto the feet of Srimati Radharani or Sita Maya. If their blessing is there, the way becomes very easy. Otherwise the crow would not have. She pushed, and when it touched the lotus feet of Lord Sri Ramachandra, he said, okay, it's okay. And he just left the crow without. But the Brahmastra, if he leaves, Lord leaves something, it can't go waste. So one eyes of his was pricked. So this is one of this Karunika, merciful character of Lord Sri Ramachandra. That is an aspect of Dharmagnya. A person can be righteous, and if he is not humble enough, he is not a Dharmagnya. I can say that I am very good to the whole society, I do good charity, and I am very rudely behaving to my father at my home. Am I a Dharmagnya? No. Same way, we are also, I am telling, Supreme Lord has done so much thing. He has extended his hand to us, and he is ready to run behind us. He is ready to help us. But we are hesitant, and we are thinking the whole material world is there. Why to think of this why to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? why to involve in the spiritual activities. Krishna, Lord Hari, comes in this Kali Yuga as Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar. So he comes as scriptures, he comes as holy name, he comes as his devotees. In the form of devotees also he will come. He will extend his help, he extend his arm, but we will think whether we want or not. So that is, you have to see, we need to, Dharmagnya means he is Karuna, he is a merciful person. So we will end, I'm sorry, I'm ending abruptly. So thank you for giving me an opportunity, and in this auspicious occasion of Sri Ramachandra's appearance day, as Srila Prabhupada tells, I wanted to quote his own lines, but I am paraphrasing it. We will ask his blessings that please, we are all fallen souls, please bless us that we can grow more and more in devotional service and we'll be able to serve you better. Thank you. Hare Krishna.